Can you pull up Exhibit 330, please? Mr. Depp, I'd like to turn your attention to the middle text on this page, which is a text from you to someone named Ryan A. On January 12th, 2015. Do you see that?
January. I'm sorry, the second one from the last.
Yes.
January 12th?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Is that Ryan Adams, the singer?
Yes, it is.
Your Honor, move for admission of Defendant's Exhibit 330. Just plan on asking about that text.
Objection relevance, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I'm happy to approach if you want.
Morning. Let me get some breakfast in here. Let me. You guys hear me? Hang on. Testing. Hello. Hello. No sound because they're not talking. God, you sound like the same people on their street. I said, let me get some coffee. I need a sandwich. Be right back.
Can you pull up Exhibit 620, please? Mr. Depp, I'd like to turn your attention to text number 40.
Okay.
It's the third one down.
Yes.
This is a text from you to Malcolm Connolly. Is that right?
That's correct.
Your Honor, I'd move for admission of this document with the third text down.
If I just, sure.
And I'm happy to approach to discuss if Your Honor would like.
Relevance objection again, Your Honor.
Okay, if you want to approach. Redacted.
Mr. Mr. Ottenborn, if that's coming in, we'd allow, like, the contextual text messages as well, if we might take a look, please.
I'm sorry.
We would like to take a look and just make sure the contextual text messages are coming in with the one that you're directing Mr. Depp to.
I'm just going to address the court. That was the text message that I would like to get in. If they're, I'm not sure what she's
No,
asking,
we'll
Your
just,
Honor.
we'll just go forward with that text message for now, okay?
Mr. Depp, do you remember last week the jury saw the video of you, as you called it, assaulting the cupboards in that kitchen on Sweetser Avenue?
Yes, sir, very well said.
And that was on or about February 10th, 2016, correct?
Objection calls for speculation.
I'll allow it if you can answer.
I don't know when that's from.
There's been a
I've
couple
asked for
good
the
parts so
metadata,
far.
I've asked for the date and received nothing.
Yeah, someone
Okay.
told me before my microphone was
This
low.
text
Let me,
you
work
sent
on
on
it.
February 10th, 2016 to Malcolm Connolly. Malcolm
Yes.
Connolly is one of your security guards, correct?
Yes, he is.
And in this text, you say, "Thanks, dear Mal. I'm just at the point where I feel like I'm going to puke all the time. Once I get this shit moving and get myself out of her level of shit, I will never mention this cunt's name again, ever again. And the first prick that asks about her gets a warning. Should the single-celled prick decide to push it, he never forgets me
Tell
and
you
will
what,
always
she
be
sure
remembered
looks like she
throughout his
knows how to
life
take
as
it
the
up the
guy that
ass.
got his fucking nose bit off, chewed up and swallowed by Johnny Depp. While I do have some civilized bones in my body, just on a matter of principle, I must force him to watch me fulfill this promise of mangling his motherfucker of a beezer. Love you, X." Did I read that right?
You did?
I'd like to turn to your views on Ms. Heard's career. Can you please pull up Exhibit 195?
I wish Johnny wasn't, you know, didn't get all politically sour. But we're trying to ignore that, you know. We're gonna
I'd like to
pretend
direct
he
your
didn't
attention
go
to
up
the
there and talk shit
second
about
to last
Trump.
text from the bottom. This is a text message exchange between you and Ms. Heard on October 29th, 2013, correct?
It looks like it is, yes.
Your Honor, I'd move for the admission of Defendant's Exhibit 195 with the appropriate identifiers redacted.
We would object on relevance grounds, Your Honor.
Your Honor, this is him expressing his views on her taking a meeting about a movie.
On her
Her
taking
career, his views.
All right, I need some breakfast. Why is my microphone so quiet? Hang on a sec. Turn everything dark. 1 second.
So 195 will be in evidence with, redacted with the identifiers.
All right. Is that better?
Mr. Depp, you see the text that from Amber that says, "I'm at a coffee meeting now." You see that?
I do,
It's
sir.
right there. So she tells you at 12:41 p.m., "I'm at a coffee meeting now. We'll be home soon." And then you respond, "Holy crack whores. No goddamn meetings. No movies. Why? Why do you deviate from our agreement? What species of meeting? Fuck it. Just tell me when you get home. Did I read that right?
You did, but a coffee meeting.
You didn't want her to take the meeting that she was taking that day, correct?
I wanted her
It
to
seems
take
as
it,
though we
yes.
had an agreement.
But she's been putting it
What seems like
in
we
my
had an agreement to do
that-
something together. I'm actually asking
Oh,
what
yeah.
species of meeting. So
Yeah,
this
she's a
is
freak.
Not necessarily an angry text. It's just, why do you deviate from our agreement? It's not about her doing.
No movies because you didn't want her acting. You wanted to control her career, correct?
Objection, compound.
That's
I'll-
patently
hold on,
untrue,
Mr.
and it's a
Mr.
great
Depp,
guess.
sir. All right, yes, I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
Sorry.
Let's,
That's
we can move on. Exhibit 394, please. Defendant's exhibit.
Thank you.
Mr. Depp, if you can take a look at the fourth text down, this is a text from you to Dr. Kipper on, it's in the timestamp issue, I believe it was sent on March 8th, 2015 in Australia, timestamped March 7th, 2015. Do you see that?
I do, sir.
Your Honor, I move for the admission of 394.
No objection with the proper redactions of the rest of the text messages and the identifiers.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
394 in evidence with redaction.
She looks like a Nazi. If I tell you, if she shit in that bed, I'm pretty sure it wasn't the first time. They must have been some, doing that stuff. By the way, this is not. Don't have your kids watching this. By the way, this is adult time. This is. Don't have your kids. But I guarantee she shit on his chest before. I guarantee you they did that shit before. She's got that kind of shit written all over her.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, we don't got to speak about him. And she shit in the bed. Guaranteed that ain't the first time they had some shit played.
Right after you had suffered an injury to your finger, you text Dr. Kipper and you say, "Hi, fucked, man. Had another one. I just cannot live like this. She is as full of shit as a Christmas goose. I'm done. No more. The constant insults, the demeaning, belittling, most heartbreaking spew that is only released from a malicious, evil, and vindictive cunt. But you know what? Far more hurtful than her venomous and degrading, endless educational ranting is her hideously and purposely hurtful tirades and her goddamn shocking treatment of the man she was meant to love, above all. Here's the real deal, mate. Her obsession with herself is far more important. She is so fucking ambitious. She's so desperate for success and fame. That's probably why I was acquired, mate. Although she has hammered me with what a sad old man has been I am, Cowan has done me the most cruel of favors. I'm so very sad. I cut the top of my middle finger off. What should I do? Except, of course, go to a hospital. I'm so embarrassed for jumping into anything with her. Fuck the world." Did I read that right?
Yes, Mr. Rottenborn.
So even as you are ranting about Ms. Hurd to Dr. Kipper, even as you were talking about her ambition and expressing your objections to that, you still admit to him that you cut the top of your middle finger off, correct?
Objection, compound.
All right, sustain as compound.
You're complaining about her ambition in this text to her, to Dr. Kipper, correct?
I'm
Oh,
realizing
yeah,
that
for
her
sure.
ambition.
Yeah,
is
him and
far
McAfee
stronger
are
than
him and McAfee are
supposed
cousins.
feelings for me, yes.
They look like they're
And there's
fucking
nothing
cousins.
about this text that's trying to protect
They
her.
act like it, talk like it. They love shit played.
Protect her. From what?
And you tell Dr. Kipper, I cut the top of my middle finger off in this text, correct?
It's just the way it was worded.
Damn,
It
that was
doesn't
an
mean that
evil-looking bitch.
I actually literally cut my finger off after, at the age of 12, finding the only thing that gave me peace, which is playing the guitar. Very unlikely. Why didn't I start lopping off digits when I was 13 then?
Just the way it was worded. Now, Miss Heard wasn't the only one who had a problem with your
Playing
drinking.
guitar.
Miss Heard
Oh, you
wasn't
have
the
to
only one who
go
had a problem
Jimi
with your
Hendrix.
drinking
Yeah, I had to
and
turn
use
the
of alcohol,
guitar
correct?
Objection
upside
compound.
down. The
All
only
right,
thing
I'll
that gives
state
me
objection
joy.
if you
Miss
she
Heard
took
wasn't the
away
only one who
was
had a problem with your drinking.
sticking my finger
Correct.
in her ass.
Sir, if anyone had a problem with my drinking at any time in my life, it was me. The only person that I have ever abused in my life is myself.
In fact, you tried to hide your drinking from your daughter, Lily Rose, didn't you?
Objection, relevance.
What's the relevance?
When your nerves are
But,
pushed...
sir, if you can.
Can we approach, Your Honor?
Okay.
Pardon.
Look at this. Oh. I'll tell you, this is the most I've actually Johnny Depp pissed me off. He pissed me off with him talking about assassinating the president. But this is funny. He's funny. It's too bad he's brainwashed. I tell you, he is so abused by that Nazi that he really just needs to man the fuck up and get out of that shit. He's a pussy. You love that bitch? You love that bitch? Oh, she's abusing me. Oh. Fuck out of there. Actually, no, she accused him of a bunch of shit, huh? That's a nasty bitch right there. That's a nasty bitch. I really shouldn't talk. We've all been ran through. I shouldn't talk.
Can you pull up Exhibit 207, please? Can you scroll down, please? Thank you. Mr. Depp, I'd like to direct your attention to the last text on this page. It's a text from you to
Okay.
Kevin Murphy. He was your estate manager, correct?
He was.
This is a text from you to Kevin Murphy on January 21st, 2014,
I'm digging this
correct?
ice brown sugar,
Yes, sir.
oat
Your
milk.
Honor, I'd move for the admission of that
Brown
portion
sugar
of
coffee
Exhibit
lately.
207 with redactions.
With the identifiers redacted, that's fine. Thank you.
207?
I tell you, it's probably fun fucking her in the ass. She's a freak, and I'm sure there's a reason why he's all caught up on her. She looks like she takes it in the butt really good.
Permission to publish?
Yes, sir.
And in this text to Kevin Murphy on January 21st, 2014, you say, just trying to get over my shocking discussion with Vanessa that lasted 5+ hours. Vanessa's your former partner, correct?
She's the mother of my children, yes.
The mother of your children, that's right. And then you say, I feel ill and have invested my guts into some side corner. Now, Lily Rose hates me because she thinks I'm drinking, and she's right. But I can't admit, or I fucking die in her eyes. Thanks for that one, Vanessa. Come to master in main house. Did I read that correctly?
You did.
Can you pull up Exhibit 1092, please? Mr. Depp, is this a picture of you passed out in a chair during daylight hours?
Again, isn't passed out, that's a very
I just
specific
had
term.
my eyes
Sleep
closed,
could
and the
be
ice
one.
cream
Passed out.
was on my pants. I wasn't
Let's try it
Passed
this
out.
way.
I
This is a
was
picture of you in a chair,
presently
correct?
out.
That is correct.
Move for the admission of 1092, Your Honor.
Any objection?
I'm relevance, Your Honor?
Your Honor, I'm trying to move this along, and when we stop with
Well,
relevance,
you want to lay a foundation, I just don't.
this is a picture of Mr. Depp. We've introduced another, on Thursday, another picture.
I don't trust
What is
any.
the
I
date of
don't
this
listen.
photograph?
I'm just guessing. This is just. I thought it was gonna be the same exact thing as Monday as last week. I almost wanted to signal, but dealing with people right now, like is shit. Shit is super joggy. By the way, the Chinese Ching Chong is back. It's the Chinese. We've had our 2 in a row for impulse. Wait, the Chinese Ching Chong is back. Chinese Ching Chong on multiple time frames, so we know who's selling. There's another one. Look, Chinese Ching Chong. Charts aren't gonna do shit right now. Charts ain't gonna do shit. Yeah, okay, this is coming out. It's great, but I ain't looking to stay in I ain't looking to fucking stay in some fucking position for a long ass time and come on. This ain't that time. I'm not that guy today.
Can you take that down and put up Exhibit 470, Michelle, please?
I'm just trying to squeak my way out light on the books.
Mr. Depp, is the bottom text on this page a text exchange or a text message from you to your personal assistant, Stephen Deuters, on September 3rd, 2015?
That's what it looks like.
When did I enter?
Your Honor,
When
I
it
move for the
was
admission of this
just
exhibit,
at 38
with just that text and the
fucking
appropriate
5.
redactions. Exhibit 470.
Again, relevance, Your Honor. And cumulative.
I'll allow this one if we
Thank
just,
you, Your
Come
Honor.
on, what's taking so long? Get to the good shit.
with redactions.
Because it's a Chinese pattern from 2017, 2018, and 19. If you're new to crypto, if you're new to this channel, Chinese Chong has been around for a long time.
Permission to publish, Your Honor?
All right, yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Depp, in the effort to move this along, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'm going to start with the word main bits, which is 5 lines down. You write to Mr. Deuters on September 3rd, 2015, main bits needed are Xanax and Adderall, and I want no judgment from Kipper or Debbie. Kipper means Dr. David Kipper, correct?
That's correct.
And Debbie means Debbie Lloyd, your sobriety nurse, correct?
That is correct.
Just found out from Joel last night how much I spent on having Kipper and Debbie around. Millions and fucking millions, mate. All the while, Debbie just hung around Broad, BCH, and gave me new meds like every 2 weeks. She was on set maybe 4 times. Wow. Then 5 money symbols. Sorry, just how it is. Did I read that right?
You did?
Can we pull up Exhibit 587, please? This is a recording, Your Honor.
Yes, but I'm trying to limit out and just take my profits. If I can make 50K, 40, 50K, I'll fucking take it.
1940 through 1953 and 2304 through 2329.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
587 being evidence.
Boy, I tell you what, the pencil necks disappeared again off of the weekly Blood Diamond. They certainly haven't been around. I don't know where everyone's been. Whoa, oh, oh.
In that clip, Mr. Depp, you tell Ms. Heard, I'm never getting clean and sober, correct?
It sounds like, to me, that, yeah, it's either that or I have never been clean and sober.
Thank
It's one
you.
of the
Let's
two.
play 2304, please.
Yeah, I also just started the stream. It's too, or it's I'm not, I don't want to exit the full trade. I can't straight at 40K. It would be nice to see it come up more. It's where we just started the live stream.
Doesn't make it easier for you to see how clearly that is.
You gotta stop with the coke
all
and
the coke you've done today and all the booze you've drank today.
By the way,
Has it helped you?
has
it helped us?
Just got the coke.
Has it helped us?
Today.
Yeah, I know because yesterday you were 1,000 times better. Yesterday did we?
This fucking bitch recording this shit. Obviously, she's just recording
I'd like
all
to turn
this.
now to a few
What
more
a
of your words
fucking
around the
bitch. That's
time
why she
that
keeps.
you went into
God, what a
detox,
bitch.
About how you viewed Amber's role in that process, Mr. Depp.
All the
Can you
I remember
please
she
pull up
hits
plaintiff's
record.
exhibit
All the cocaine you've been
120
doing, dear.
_40.
That's so fucked up. She shouldn't be. Isn't that
Your
illegal?
Honor,
Isn't that illegal?
120 _41 was admitted the other day, but
This whole
I'd like to introduce
this
this
whole
as a separate
trial
exhibit.
has been
So
these
120B.
recordings. I thought you
And
had to
B
let
_40
someone
you
know
said
if
40?
you're
Yes, Your Honor.
recording them.
Any objection to that?
If I may, it just came up on the screen.
Okay.
Mr. Depp, while they're looking at that, is the second text from the bottom a text that you sent to Amber's mom, Paige, on August 19th, 2014?
Yes, that's correct, sir.
And this is when you were either in the middle of or finishing up your detox process from roxycodone, correct?
That is correct.
All right. No objection?
No objection.
Okay. 120B in evidence.
Go, baby.
You want to publish? Or
That's
as is, correct?
With the other
Okay.
fine.
text messages redacted.
All right.
Thank you.
Oh, with you, okay, yeah, sure.
Okay, you publish.
And in this text message that you write Amber's mom on August 19th, 2014, you say, "My dearest Paige, how unbelievably kind and pure your message was. I am beyond thankful to have you in my life. There is no luckier man on this earth to have the strength that Amber gives me and the full support of each of you individually that I've gotten helps immeasurably. I don't need to
Wow,
explain
what
the
a-
horrors to you.
Wow.
You know as well as I. What you do need to know, that your daughter has risen far above the nightmarish task of taking care of this poor old junkie. Never a second has gone by that she didn't look out for me or have her eyes on me to make sure that I was okay. YN words are truly feeble in attempting to explain her heroism in a text. Suffice to say that I have never met or loved a woman or a thing more. She has the strength of 1,000 men, and that is due to no one or nothing but you, sweetheart. Thank you. I love you. Your son, Outlaw." Did I read that correctly?
You did, sir.
I'd like to take a look at another document, Exhibit 272, please.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Epstein case hidden. The Joe Biden fucking hidden. By the way, The trailer. We might have to take an intermission. We got a trailer coming out of a new movie. I can't wait to watch on May 8th.
Is this a text message that you shared, a text message exchange between you and Amber the following day on April 20th, 2014?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, permission to, or I'd move for the admission of Exhibit
Fuck yeah, my breakfast
272
is
and ask
here.
for permission to publish.
With the identifiers removed, we have no objection.
All right, remove the identifiers.
Never mind, that's the trash. Man.
All right, 272 in evidence as redacted.
Now, Mr. Depp, you testified on Thursday that you saw nothing wrong with referring to Amber as a lesbian camp counselor when she was trying to get you to stop using drugs. But
She
let's
had
take a
used
look at
the
what you
same-
say.
She had used that term before.
In this
Man, it's
text,
too
Mr.
bad
Depp,
he's such a
you say,
fucking.
just to let you know that I'm fine, my angel. I miss you, of course, but this was the right thing to do to speed up the process. I love you more than life. Yours, Steve. Did I read that correctly?
You did.
You can take that down. Now, you've brought this lawsuit about the op-ed specifically, but for years prior to the date that Ms. Heard wrote the op-ed, there were numerous negative news stories about you. You'd
Got a
agree
little
with
bit of
that,
action
correct?
on the 1 minute
Objection,
coming up,
compound.
baby.
All right, I'll sustain it to compound. If you can.
For years prior to 2018, when Amber wrote the op-ed, there were numerous negative news stories about you that were released into the public, correct?
Objection calls for speculation.
I'll allow it if you can answer.
By 2018, you say?
Correct.
Yes, it all started with Ms. Heard going directly to a court to get a TRO, which is with a bruise on her face and paparazzi. That was the sort of beginning of the ball rolling down the hill and gaining momentum.
There were lots of
And
negative
destroying
stories
me.
about you prior to May 27, 2016, when Amber went into court, correct?
Objection asked and answered.
Now it's 2016. I'll allow it if you can answer.
There were plenty of negative stories about you prior to that date, weren't there?
So I've been in the racket of Hollywood since 1984.
Racket,
My-
huh?
Mr. Depp,
Is that why
that's-
you're talking about
I'm asking
shooting
you
the
a yes or no
president,
question.
Mr.
There were
Depp?
plenty
That's what
of
I would
negative
have said
news
if I was
stories
that
about you
attorney.
prior to May 27, 2016.
Is that
correct?
why you were talking
From
about shooting the
1984 up until
president?
then, they're both. So, of course, people write negative stories.
Sure. And you just testified to the jury that it all started on May 27, 2016. So that's why I asked you to clarify about the negative stories prior to that date. And you'd agree that there were, correct?
Can you be specific about the stories? Of course, there have been negative stories.
Permission to approach, Your Honor?
All right.
Your Honor, I have here numerous exhibits in one sort of compendium, all press articles about Mr. Depp, if I may approach.
Thank you. All right, yes, sir.
Thank you so much.
Your Honor, in having received this, I would like to preemptively lodge a hearsay, lack of foundation, and
He hasn't got him in evidence yet. Are you moving?
No,
these to
I'm
evidence?
happy to approach, but they're certainly not being admitted for the truth of the matter asserted, but I'm happy to approach and
Okay,
discuss if
well,
you'd like.
Yes, breakfast. Oh, I'm so hungry. Mm. It's like the old weekly was playing out to me. It started early in the candle. I don't know where all these shit talkers, I don't know where all these pencil necks disappeared to. These pencil necks disappeared. What's going on here? Why is there L's in the chat? What did I miss when I was grabbing breakfast? What happened? This is exciting. Would I let her shit on my chest? No. She's got to be a little hotter than that. Come on. What the fuck are they doing? They had all this time to prepare. What's taking so long? Yeah, we're just I knew the price would come up. It's just doing the same thing it did last weekend. And honestly, for the past month or two, I think minus one day, one weekend on Monday where it kind of went sideways. But whatever it does on the weekend does the odds. It's been selling off all weekend. So it had to get bought up a little bit. this ain't no, you know.
We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics. Let me say it again.
The 2020 election was the most secure
Election in American history.
Let me begin by asking a very simple question. Do we know the truth about what really happened in the 2020 election?
I think millions of Americans know something went wrong, and they have little pieces, and no one's really put it together.
I'm agnostic on this question, and I am awaiting more information.
If I believed the president were a Nazi, I might steal an election.
Bold accusations require bold evidence, and they haven't seen it.
We have been working on something big.
Show me the money.
Can we meet? I've been working with Greg Phillips. He has a deep background in election intelligence.
True the Vote has the largest store of election intelligence for the 2020 elections in the world. No one has more data than we do. We identified in Atlanta 242 mules that went to an average of 24 drop boxes. But Philadelphia alone, we've identified more than 1,100 mules.
What is a mule?
Person picking up ballots and running them to the drop boxes.
This is not grandma out walking her dog. Bad backgrounds, bad reputations. They are interested in one thing, that's money.
And in no shape, in no way, in no time is that legal.
This is organized crime.
Do you have video evidence?
4 million minutes of surveillance video around the country.
What you're about to see is disturbing.
So this is 1 o'clock in the morning.
Don't we all vote at 1 o'clock in the morning?
On one night, this person, this mule, went across 6 counties to 27 different drop boxes.
I call it the Mexican mafia, seriously, because they work like that.
This is jaw-dropping.
What you showed,
Motherfuckers. May 8th. Coming somewhere on Rumble or Tumble or some shit. Man, that shit was fucking stolen.
Says Johnny Depp reportedly drank heavily and was constantly late on the new Pirates movie set. Did I read that right?
You did, reportedly.
The next
These are
article,
all
also
hit
from May
pieces.
10th,
These are drags,
2017.
sir.
Mr.
This
Depp,
is a pathetic attempt.
Mr. Depp, please just respond to the question that I'm asking you.
Oh, wow,
What's
we
your
missed. We actually finally missed something.
The next article is an article from May 7th, 2016. It's entitled Johnny Depp, Friends and Family Seriously Concerned About Him. Here's Why.
Yes,
Correct?
how did they know?
The next article from May 1st, 2017, before Ms. Heard filed for a restraining order, a year and a half before she published, no, sorry, this would be after, May 1st, 2017. The headline is, Johnny Depp has a clear and epic sense of entitlement, ex-managers say. Published
Yes.
in the Hollywood Reporter, correct?
I was in a lawsuit with them, sir.
The next article from May 10th, 2017 is entitled Johnny Depp, a star in crisis and the insane story of his missing millions. Did I read that right?
That's straight from the same lawsuit, sir.
The next article, also from May 10th, 2017, a year and a half before the op-ed was published, says Johnny Depp reportedly drank heavily and was constantly late on the new Pirates movie set. Did I read that right?
You did, reportedly.
The next
These are
article,
all hit
also
pieces.
from May
These
10th,
are drags,
2017.
sir.
Mr.
This
Depp,
is a pathetic attempt.
Mr. Depp, please just respond to the question that I'm asking you.
What's your
The next
question, Mr.
question,
Rottenborn?
the next document, an article published in Vanity Fair on May 10th, 2017
Yes.
is entitled Johnny Depp's Financial Woes Might Sink the Next Pirates of the Caribbean. Did I read that right?
You did. I don't know.
The
how
next
my
article,
financial woes would do
May
that.
25th, 2017, a year and a half before the op-ed was published.
I know.
An
You
article
know, I'm
entitled,
sorry.
"Where
We're
Did
giving
It
in. You
All
know, there's
Go
nothing
Wrong
else to
for Johnny
fucking
Depp?"
do.
After a string of flops and a ton of bad press, Johnny Depp's star power looks as wobbly as Jack Sparrow on a plank. Did I read that right?
You read that very, very well.
The next one, Hollywood Reporter, May 27th, 2017.
What's with all these fucking
Headline,
hippies
Pirates
back
of the
here? What the
Caribbean,
fuck
the
is
diminishing
this?
returns of Johnny Depp.
This
Did I
is
read
a
that
sex
right?
cult.
You
I'm
certainly
pretty sure
did.
this
Hollywood
is a
Reporter was very
70s.
nice to me at the time.
July
Sex.
12th, 2017.
This is some weird shit.
Why
What
are
is
all
this?
of Johnny Depp's movies bombing at the box office? Did I read that right?
You certainly did.
November 4th, 2017, a year and a month before Amber published the op-ed. Headline, Johnny Depp allegedly showed up drunk to movie premiere, reports say. Did I read that
Allegedly,
correctly?
reports say. This is hearsay. is
June
it not?
21st,
Your
2018,
favorite word?
6 months before the op-ed was published. Vanity Fair
Yeah, where's
article,
his
"The
attorney?
Real
Why isn't
Reason
his-
Johnny
why isn't
Depp
his attorney
used
saying
an
shit?"
earpiece on a film set."
I think that was
I
explained
read
in
that
court the
correctly?
other day. Oh, you did, yeah.
June 21st, 2018, 6 months before the op-ed was published, with Johnny Depp, multi-million-dollar lawsuit,
I became aware.
and she became associated with those abuse accusations that she made against you in May 2016, correct, to your knowledge?
Objection calls for speculation.
I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
You became associated with those domestic abuse accusations that she made against you, correct?
I think that's clear.
And
yes.
you understood that she became associated
I'd say
with
don't
those same
fucking raise your
accusations that
voice
she made,
at me,
correct? You testified
you
to that.
faggot.
Well, she had a choice. I didn't.
And you've talked about the immediate impact that those accusations on May 27th, 2016 allegedly had on your career, correct?
Yes.
You testified earlier in your examination on direct that when Amber made those accusations in 2016, you said you lost, quote, nothing less than everything, correct?
That is correct, sir.
But you didn't try to get the restraining order lifted in 2016, did you?
I don't. If she wanted a
It's
restraining
a yes
order.
or no question. You didn't try to get the restraining
No,
order
why
lifted,
would
did you?
I?
And you didn't have a divorce trial where you could respond to Amber's accusations of abuse in 2016, did you?
Objection calls for a legal conclusion.
I'm asking him if he had a trial as
All
a
right,
fact.
I'll allow-
You didn't have a divorce trial where you could respond to Amber's accusations of abuse, did you?
No, there were no charges pressed against
You
me.
chose
She didn't
not
tell
to-
the police that I had done anything. She didn't mention my name.
And you didn't have a California divorce judge decide these facts, did you?
Objection asked and answered.
I'll
You
sustain the
chose,
objection.
you
Next
chose
question.
not to try to clear your name at that time through any sort of legal proceeding, correct?
Objection asked and answered.
I'll sustain the objection. Next
And you chose to sign a divorce agreement in which you stated that Amber had not made any false statements about you for financial gain. We looked at that, correct?
Objection asked and answered.
Asked and answered. I'll sustain the objection. Next
In
question.
fact, you waited until Amber wrote the op-ed in the Washington Post in December of 2018 to file a lawsuit against her, correct?
Yes, I'm still bullish on oil.
That is correct.
Can you pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 2, please?
It was the only time that I
Permission
was
to
able
publish,
to
Your Honor?
speak and use my own voice.
You chose not to sue the Washington Post in this lawsuit, correct?
Objection relevance asked and answered.
It's not been asked and answered.
Hasn't been asked and answered, but I'm not sure what the relevance is.
You chose to sue only Ms. Heard and not the newspaper that published this article, correct?
Objection compound.
All right, I'll sustain as to compound.
You chose not to sue the Washington Post, correct?
Objection relevance.
I'll sustain the objection.
You only sued the author of this article, Amber Heard, correct?
Which seems she was the one making the statements. Yes, I had the opportunity to fight back.
Permission to
Yeah,
publish
we
Exhibit 2,
need
Your Honor.
we need our 70s cult.
Mr. Depp, you realize that the
Look at that
only
guy.
job
Look at that guy
for
back
this
there.
jury to decide
Yes, sir.
Look at
its
him, he's staring
only
at the
job
wall.
is to determine whether this op-ed and this op-ed alone is defamatory.
Objection calls for a legal conclusion.
I'll sustain the objection.
This is the only writing that that's the subject of this lawsuit that you brought, correct?
Same objection.
It's fact, Your Honor. He
Yeah,
only brought the
I'll allow
lawsuit.
that question. I'll allow that question.
This is a version of that story of the op-ed that I've never seen. The one that was published before, the only one I've ever seen is the one that was published prior to this.
Target, there is no target. We're just taking profits. The target is I'm trying to limit out and not pay fees and take what I've been given. Turds on my
Correct?
Objection asked and answered.
No, I'll sustain the objection.
This op-ed, Mr. Depp, does not discuss any of the details of your relationship that we've seen in texts and emails and recordings over the past few days, does it?
Objection compound and asked and answered.
I'll sustain both objections.
In fact, this
is
article
fucking
doesn't
boring.
contain any details of your relationship with Ms. Heard.
Objection asked and answered.
I'll sustain the
The
objection.
only thing that this article states, Mr. Depp, is that in 2016, Amber made accusations of domestic abuse. Correct.
It was clear that she'd made allegations in 2016.
And she
so
did that when
then,
she
yes.
obtained a restraining order against you in 2016, correct?
She shit in my bed, sir.
Yeah, I suppose, yes. Yeah,
And even if you disagree with the accusations that she made against you in May 2016, it is a true fact that she did make those accusations in 2016 and got a restraining order against you,
Did she
correct?
shit in your bed?
Objection
after,
compound asked
before,
and
or after?
answered.
Sustain the objections. Next question.
I had some of her feces.
To your knowledge,
My mustache lip.
the words that Ms. Heard used in this article about getting a restraining order against you in 2016, those are true, correct?
I'm sorry?
The words that Ms. Heard
the
used.
document.
All right, I'll sustain the objection. You want-
Can you go to the third paragraph? Pull up the third paragraph, please. The statement that then 2 years ago, Ms. Heard became a public figure representing domestic abuse. That is true, isn't it?
I'm not sure what we're looking at.
Objection.
Oh, I see it.
Calls for a legal conclusion.
So I'll sustain the objection. I'll
It's not.
sustain the objection.
And in 2016, for the first time publicly,
Boy, you want to talk about shitting the bed? I'll show you what's shit in the bed. Want to talk about shit in the bed? Goddamn pencil necks are shitting. How come every time we fucking mute, something big happens? What just happened? What happened?
I'm sorry?
the words that Ms. Heard
the
used.
document.
All right, I'll sustain the objection. You want-
Can you go to the third paragraph? Pull up the third paragraph, please. The statement that then 2 years ago, Ms. Heard became a public figure representing domestic abuse. That is true, isn't it?
I'm not sure what we're looking at.
Objection.
Oh, I see it.
Calls for a legal conclusion.
So I'll sustain the objection. I'll
It's not.
sustain the objection.
Look at this lady.
And in
Jeez, look at
2016
that cutlet right there.
For the first time publicly, Ms. Heard accused you of domestic abuse, correct?
In 2016?
Yes.
That's correct.
No further questions.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, why don't we go ahead and take our morning recess for 15 minutes? Do not do any outside research and do not talk to anybody about the case, okay? We'll come back in 15 minutes.
I'm gonna do some cocaine and go do some cocaine right now. I just powdered my nose. like the guy that flew the airplane. I'm drunk right now. I was drunk then. I was drunk now, and I'll be drunk in the future as well. Ew, ew, look, he's copped a squeeze. He copped a squeeze. Look, look, look. Look, he went in for a little squeeze. That fucking weasel. He's gonna be the next Johnny Depp. Look, 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 look. He's looking at her. Look, 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 look. Look, they made eye contact. Look, he's waiting. Look. Look, look. What the fuck? Why does this have it? Are you serious? This is in our courts. A she-man with a boob holding a dick killing a normal fucking human being. We have a transvestite holding a dildo killing a normal man. That's fucking great. That's great. Wow. Wow. That's disgusting. This is disgusting. This is disgusting. Yeah, and they just put it right there for fucking, yeah, that's a pencil neck right there. And look at his crown. Look, his crown. Look, and there's a crown right there too. Like, this is some serious shit. Taking out the standard ruler of normalness. This is disgusting. Let's see here. We've been able to limit out almost 12 grand. Got another 20 or 30 on the board, depending on the price action. Man, Have y'all been seeing this price action since yesterday? All weekend, we had a resurgence of just when you think they're gone, they show themselves again. The Chinese Chong pattern has come back again. And we know that is indeed Chinese selling, which makes absolute sense if you have a little bit of sense. You know, everyone out here on the West is, who would sell their Bitcoin? I would never sell my Bitcoin. Oh. I hold my shit till it goes to zero. Well, not everyone else does that. The Chinese make money. It's Chinese Ching Chong. And there was one right after that, another one, Chinese Ching Chong. Man, just like the old days, man, they just appeared. This was the first time that I kind of saw one appear in years. And if you haven't been around this channel for a long time, then you might not know what we're talking about. Why not shorting? Because it's fucking Monday that dumped all weekend. So I got in firmly believing the price was going to come up a little bit, and it did. Why would you ask me why I'm not shorting when I'm in $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 in profit? Why are you in a profitable trade right now? How come you're not in a losing fucking trade? How come you're not in a lose? How come you're not losing 40 grand right now? God, what an idiot. He's fucking in, he's made 30, 40, 50 grand. He's taking profit. See if we can catch a little. We'll see. But yeah, man, dude, this thing was violent over the weekend, man. The wheels were wiggling and jiggling. Yeah, dangerous, absolutely dangerous time to be trading if you're, you know, not like, if you're not going to be lazy, you know, take what the market gives you, you know. When the order book thins out, knives out, trying to yeah, man. Listen, fucking Netflix. Is Netflix shitting more right now? Ooh, I was gonna say watch. It's at 203. I'm telling you, folks. I'm telling you, we called it. We called it. I told you. We told you. That this isn't right. This ain't looking good. Something's different. The housing markets are starting to see a little shift. And once everything is so volatile and so leveraged, it just takes one little fart. One little tiny, and these leveraged hedge fund guys just get one little sniff. One little sniff. Did Elon buy out Twitter? Because I got Twitter, which means I'm not seeing no confirmation. May want to finalize here. But yeah, trends increasing 40 minutes ago. Was it announced officially? Because let me see. Wow, man, good for him. I wonder what kind of changed. Why'd they change their minds so quick? And this is a major blow to the liberal, to the, I don't want to say liberal, to the radical left, which is half of Twitter bots. 80% of the bots on Twitter are radical left spewing algorithms. And I only know this because years ago, and I've said it here before on this very channel, a very good friend of mine was in the business of selling these Twitter bots and other social medias. And he said over 80% of his business was from political fuckery. Mainly from more than once from one side than the other. Yeah, the Blue Dog Democrats have there ain't too many of them left these days. We've gone full. Oh, okay. Let's look at the transvestite fucking. Let's look at the trannies. Look at the taking out the man with the crown, with a dildo, a tit, transvestites. And I'm not saying we got anything against someone who has a, you know, I've known a few people who were legitimate born like that. And so I'm not saying like that shit isn't real. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. But Satanism, I'm saying that you can't have this whole power, this whole Satan, these fucking Satanists. Satan.
Mr. Depp, when did you see Ms. Heard's December 18th, 2018 op-ed for the first time?
It was.
That's a nice picture of. She looks good. She looks good with that eyeshadow covering up those.
It was presented to me by one of my team. I can't remember, but it was within a day or so of it. A couple of days of it having been written, I believe.
And what was your reaction when you saw it?
Shock.
Why were you shocked?
Because at that point it had been a good solid two or so years of this, of the accusations, of the allegations, planted firmly on my back, so something that I had to carry with me. And I just couldn't believe that it was continuing. That it was continuing in such a way that it was clear that the more bad press, the more hit pieces that came out on me, the more of these stories of Ms. Heard and her righteous chase against me. It wasn't stopping, and it's difficult to once you've chewed on it for a couple of years, it becomes pretty difficult to swallow anymore. As it was completely untrue.
How did you feel when you saw the op-ed for the first time?
Objection asked and answered.
How did you feel about seeing that turd for the first
My
time?
prior question was about his reaction.
All right, I'll allow it.
Hurts. Yeah, a blinding hurt. It was like somebody had hit me in the back of the head with a 2x4. And as it said, I had no
2x4, motherfucker. You haven't lifted a
I
piece
had
of
no
wood
ability
a
to
day in your
speak
life.
prior to, because even if I had done an interview to try to explain myself,
Has
it
there ever
turned into a
been
hit piece.
an actor that assassinated
My
the
mouth
president?
shut.
Anybody have any
And this was the opportunity where I thought, something's got to be done. It's just got to be done. I couldn't take it anymore.
When did you first
Well, you
learn
took
that
it for a
Disney was
long
not going
time.
to recast
You
in
sure
the
been
Pirates
taking it
franchise?
for a long time.
It was probably 2 or 3 days after this op-ed appeared.
I guarantee that she's
One of my
put some stuff
crew,
up his pooper.
again, I don't remember who had sent me, excuse me, had sent me a piece that was in some magazine, and Sean Bailey, who was the number 3.
Objection, hearsay.
I don't know yet. I'll overrule it at this point.
Thank you.
May I continue, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Sean Bailey, who was the third in line, as I suppose, in the upper echelon of Disney, just basically said in the
Objection, hearsay.
Your
What
Honor,
Sean Bailey said.
this is about him
It's in
learning
an
about this.
article.
It's not for the truth.
It is the truth. She's asking.
If you want to approach, that's
He looks like he's about to vomit right there. Just oh, excuse me. I had to do a little grumpy in the bathroom during the recess. Is
Mr. Depp,
anybody
could you please
else
explain
here
to the jury who
a little
Sean Bailey
grumpy?
is? I
Bumpy.
think you were starting to.
Yes, I'll try again.
I had to
Sean Bailey is
do a little bumpy because I was
number 3, or was at the time. I don't know what his status is anymore, but at the time he was the number 3
Is anybody
upper
else
echelon of Disney top dogs.
grumpy
And,
that wants a bumpy?
Sean Bailey was quoted as saying that
Objection, hearsay.
Mr. Depp, where was Sean Bailey quoted, without getting into what he was quoted as saying?
he was quoted in whatever the article was that that was brought to my attention.
And can you please just clarify what article you're referring to?
I don't know what journal it came from. I don't know what magazine. I don't know any of that. So I don't know did the interview with him.
Objection, lack of foundation.
I'll overrule the objection. Go ahead.
Mr. Depp, how did you feel when you learned that you were being dropped from the Pirates of the Caribbean?
If you show me a grumpy, I'll give you a bumpy.
Well, it was the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise.
We don't care about your franchise.
Captain Jack Sparrow was a character that I had built
inside of me,
and was something that I of course put a lot of as you do with all characters, but you put a lot of yourself.
What did I just say?
Characters, so,
what did I just say?
Having worked on these films with these people and
by putting myself in it,
having added much of myself, much of my own
grumpies and bumpies, and it's
rewriting of the dialogue and scenes and the jokes and whatever they are. I didn't quite understand.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
After that long relationship, and
let's go.
Relationship.
See if we can sneak a little more.
That they would.
Oh, come on.
That suddenly I
was
guilty and
one more.
Innocent.
Up until the point that you learned that you were not going to
a
be
bumpy and a grumpy
Caribbean franchise any longer, what was your intention with respect to future Pirates movies?
Well, I would.
The last thing that I knew from I say there's the producer team, there's the creative team, and there were many discussions. I, in fact, had been approached to take part in writing Pirates 6.
Mr. Depp, what was your intention with respect to future Pirates movies?
What the hell are we talking about, man? God, this is terrible.
My feeling was that these characters should be able to have their proper goodbye, as it were.
As it were. Oh, these characters. Oh, you're so important.
Motherfucker, you're not Marlon Brando.
There's a way
you're not
to end
the Godfather.
A franchise like that, and I thought that the characters deserved to.
You know, I've never been able to watch Pirates of the
Grumpy to end the franchise
without falling asleep.
On a very good note. I planned on continuing until it was time to stop.
But when it comes to grumpies and bumpies, I just don't know when to stop.
Mr. asked you about a quote where you said you wouldn't.
We were thinking about Pirates of the Caribbean 6, but there's only been
$3 and a million alpacas. Do you remember that?
We were on a lot of bumpy.
When relative to learning that you would no longer be a part of the Pirates franchise, did you make that statement?
I think long before I made the statement, there was a very deep and distinct sense of having been betrayed by the people that I had been working with, the people that I had worked hard for, the people that I had delivered a character to that they initially despised, but somehow you know, even I stuck to my guns with the character and it seemed to work. So
do you recall when specifically you made that statement about the $300 million and the 100 alpacas?
Objection, asked and answered.
Overruled, I'll allow it.
I believe I made that statement during a press conference in the San Sebastian at the San Sebastian Film Festival when I was asked about my situation.
And what year would that have been, if you can recall?
I believe it was last year or so.
Can we please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 804? Mr. Depp, do you recognize this document?
As soon as my eyes go on, I hopefully will. Scaramanga Brothers, yes. Pirates of the 4 and 5, yes.
What is this document?
I don't quite know. I'd have to read it to get some understanding of it.
This was document is me on the bumpy. The bumpy.
There it goes. It looks, this appears to me to be some species of contract, no?
Is this a contract that you entered into?
With Disney.
Your Honor, I'd ask that Plaintiff's Exhibit 804 be moved into evidence and published.
Any objection?
I think it's outside the scope of direct or cross-examination.
I'll overrule on that objection.
Okay, and I'll reserve other objections to portions of the document, depending on what she's going to ask about. Could be hearsay.
But she's asking to put it all into evidence right now.
Well, then I would object to that at this point.
Maybe you want to come forward? Let's see. Okay.
Watch, I bet you this lady's doodling. This lady looks like she's just like doodling.
If I can just get a redacted copy of that at some point. Okay, thank you.
Mr. Depp, if I could direct your attention to Section 6 of the contract, which is on pages 8 through 10 of the document.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure these are like feminist, cult 70s.
Mr. Depp, what does this reflect?
It's really weird. They're all weird looking too. There's like, look at
the
it.
agreement.
Like those two might be related. They have the same hair. They all have weird fucking hair.
Mr. Depp, at this time, how many other franchise films had you been a part of?
At that time, Alice in Wonderland. Alice in Wonderland. I'm so pathetic when it comes to knowing what movies I've done. I'm sorry. I just
I've
don't
done so many.
watch them. I feel better not watching them. I couldn't. What was the question again?
How many?
Just order in the court, or I will have you removed. Understood? Thank you.
How many other franchise films had you been a part of at the time of this contract?
There was a third. There was Pirates. There was with Warner Brothers, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and then Crimes of Grindelwald.
And how does the compensation reflected in this contract
My
compare
bad.
to that what you receive for the other franchises that you've been a part of?
Objection, Foundation.
He just established that he was a member of other franchise films at this point.
And he hasn't established a foundation that he knows how he was compensated for.
I'll overrule the objection if you can answer.
I believe
we might be able to squeeze 50K. Some
pay, back end, and all those things are negotiated by agents, lawyers, and this was.
We have realized 25,000.
Comparatively, this
Another
was,
24 on the board.
This is my salary on that film, and other salaries were of a similar status, I suppose.
If I could direct your attention to the 12th page of the document.
Yes. Who?
Is this your signature, Mr. Depp?
Yes, it is.
We can take this down. Thank you.
Is this your signature, Mr. Depp? Yes, that's me. This is my signature with my little toupee. That's what it should have been on the page. Is this your signature, Mr. Depp? Yes.
One was initially called Richard Says Goodbye, and that was, they changed the name to The Professor, and during all of the nastiness over the past 6 years, that film went straight to pay-per-view. There was another film called Minamata that was produced. It was my company, Infinitum Nile. We had developed a film called Minamata about Eugene Smith, and the Minamata, the mercury poisoning of a very small fishing village in southern Japan. There was that one, and then there was a film called Waiting for the Barbarians with Mark Rylance and Robert Pattinson. Those were 3 films that I had done.
Mr. Depp, during your cross-examination, Mr. Rottenborn showed you a number of text messages between you and Paul Bettany. Do you remember
The
that?
guy's name is Rottenborn?
Please explain to the jury
The
what your
fucking
relationship with
attorney's
Mr.
name
Bettany
is Rottenborn. Wow.
Mr. Bettany and I had, we'd met while I was making a film called The Tourist.
That's because he's one of those insiders. He's in that weird. Don't get me started.
It was an instant connection. He's born and bred in the UK and has that English sort of dry kind of obtuse, abstract sense of humor.
Is he really? What's he doing? This was a pretty easy little long scalp. We're not looking for the fucking world. We just want to get a little something. It's not often we're able to limit out. So just one by one, taking my little limits, taking my little grumpies and bumpies one at a time.
Complaint or whining or anything of that nature. We dealt with it with humor, albeit sometimes. As these are private texts that have been, there was a lot of in context. It's important to know
can we all get naked?
None of it was ever intended to be real, and the language that's used, which I am ashamed that that has to be spread on the world.
Bathroom floor like an eagle, like a virgin who's yet to shave.
For example, the text.
Or pubescent adolescence for the first time.
Burning Ms. Heard is it's directly from Monty Python.
I wonder how many minors he slept with.
Burning witches.
You know he has.
And then drowning the witches. This is a film that we'd all watched when we were 10, and it's just irreverent and abstract humor. That's what we were referring to in those texts.
The text message that you just referenced, other than Mr. Bettany, who else saw that text message at the time that it was sent?
No one. Of course not.
Based on your own observations, how would you describe Mr. Bettany's relationship with Ms. Heard while you and Ms. Heard were together?
Abominable.
Why was that?
Ms. Heard despised Mr. Bettany mainly because we had become such close friends, and for her he was a threat, and would take me away from her with regard to if Paul Bettany was getting the attention from me. That was a showstopper. It would cause all kinds of unpleasantries, to the point of where when we were on the island with Mr. Bettany, his wife, and his 4 children, Ms. Heard and Mr. Bettany got into some debate over lunch, and I just remember that whenever Mr. Bettany tried to make a point, she would talk over him, and then it started to get quite rude. She got mean, and she got loud, and then I believe it was his 18-year-old boy who was getting ready to go to a very bright, brilliant kid. He entered the conversation because this was something to do with what he'd studied in school, and he knew quite a lot about it, and he voiced his opinion, and Ms. Heard demeaned that young man to the point of where he burst into tears and walked away. And it was at that point that I had spoken to Ms. Hurd and said that's just unacceptable. That behavior is unacceptable. You have no right.
Boring.
Mean that boy.
This stream's going down fast.
You cannot always be
Jesus,
right.
what are they talking
you should try
about?
being wrong sometime because you might learn something.
All right.
And
we're gonna call it a stream. I got shit I gotta do anyways. I got errands to run today. It's a weekday. I go to the bank. So far, so good. Locked in 27,000. Another 24 on the way. Yippee-yay-okay-yay. You'll have a nice day. All right. All right, boys, girls. Been real. Maybe I'll see you later.